Hello and a very warm welcome back to the garden. Right now it's preparation time for spring and I'm just sorting out the strawberry bed because they went a bit crazy. So I've put an underlayer of wood chip just to make it feel a little bit more like a woodland, and I'm giving it a nice mulch of compost, and I'm going to plant it back up, ready hopefully for a really productive year of strawberries. It's my hope that this video is really going to set you up for a super productive growing season. In January, I can quite easily get ahead of myself, and sometimes I got to pull myself back to make sure that I actually have a clear idea with what I'm planning to do with this upcoming growing season. And there are 3 questions that I think we should all consider before March so we can make sure that we achieve our goals. And the first question is, how do you see your garden looking in July or August? So choose a particularly miserable winter day or evening and sit down with a pen and paper and really ruminate over the following thoughts. What colours will you see? What will you be harvesting? How will your garden make you feel? What kind of sounds will you hear? What will you be snacking on as you're walking in between your beds? What's that glut you're never going to get tired of? How can you encourage biodiversity? Once you've jotted down some ideas, expand on them and really get into detail, such as what kind of wildlife do you see coming in? What are all of the flowers that you'd like to grow? Here, I'm actually potting up some self-sown foxglove. Now, if any of you remember last year, we had an amazing foxglove display in the middle of the garden and the bees absolutely loved it. And when I've been thinking about how I want to see next year, this coming growing season, I vision a lot more foxglove. So that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm potting up all of these self-sown plants to grow on a little bit and then plant them in and around the different raised beds just to bring a little bit of extra interest. By jotting down all of these ideas, thoughts and visions, what you end up creating is a comprehensive list of your gardening goals, and it means that you can work backwards starting from now so you can set yourself a pathway and create all of the steps that you need to take to reach that end goal, that end vision. And if you ever need a bit of motivation, you can reference back to this bit of paper or 6 pages of paper to really keep you going and motivated. Part of this process is creating a planting plan. So I actually have a free video showing you how to do a monthly planting plan, or if you want it in more detail, I've got an online course. If you haven't yet joined, there's a link down below and a little coupon code as well. When it hits March, that's when everything starts getting pretty busy for us gardeners. And what I want to do is to build a little bit of momentum leading into the season, because if I just don't really do much and then suddenly March arrives, I'm going to be playing catch up, and chances are I'll be playing catch up for the rest of the growing season, and that's not in a position that I want to be in. So what I'd suggest is actually set yourself a challenge of creating one actionable goal or achievement that you can do each week that's going to help get your garden nice, primed and ready for a new season. If you create a weekly action plan where you want to achieve something by Sunday or Monday, what you're doing is you're chipping away slowly but surely at the tasks that need doing. So for example, this week you could sort through all of your old seed packets to see which seeds need to be sown this year. And next week you could maybe look at your compost situation to see how much homemade compost do you have and evaluate it and look at if you might have to bulk it up by mixing in some bought bulk compost. Using your answers from the first question is really going to help you create a target for what each weekly goal is going to be. And I got a list down below in the video description of a ton of ideas to help get you started. But for me, my weekly goal is to go around mulching the soft fruit. Next week, it's going to be pruning the soft fruit. Every single little task that you achieve brings you a step closer to having a growing season that runs more smoothly. And it allows you to focus your time and also your headspace to the things that really need doing there and then. We now move on to the third question. How am I going to improve my soil health this year? We all know that healthy soil is a foundation for a thriving, abundant garden. Like, the screen just looks so vibrant. But I think I can always do better when it comes to soil health. And I know that I hark on about it a lot on my channel, but I do it for a reason. And if soil health is something new to you, there's plenty of videos on my channel about this that you can start going through. But there are 3 areas that I'm really going to double down on and focus on this year to hopefully further improve the yields and the health and the biodiversity of the whole entire garden. Soil health is particularly important for me because I'm trying to get harvests out of the garden 365 days a year. It's mid-January and I'm harvesting some beetroot and also some swede or rutabaga. And there are 3 core things that I'm going to focus on in terms of my soil health strategy this coming year. The first is exploring more fermentation and utilising of microbes using Korean natural farming and Jadam, and I'll share that as and when it happens. The second is looking more into biochar. I think it's quite a hotly debated topic when it comes to gardening, and I really want to get a solid understanding for its use and its potential and its drawbacks myself. And the final one is to actually utilise more chop and drop with the plant material and with weeds. And in this video, I'm going to show you just how useful chop and drop is as a technique if you are a no-dig gardener or you're trying to improve your soil fertility, which means more harvests.